All right. Yancine, great to be here with you in the Alex Museum. So my name is Jake Steinerman. I am Spatial's head of community. And Yancine, who are you?
My name is Yancine KACI. I'm a digital artist for more than 20 years, and I created ELYX exactly 10 years ago. And thanks to special technology, I could virtually build this ELYX museum that we will visit today. And just a word about ELYX. ELYX became 6 years ago the very first United Nations digital ambassador. So we in a
Wow.
natural place for a digital and virtual ambassador. And
Yeah.
so we'll have a tour and talk about
Yeah.
the potential and the coherence between XR and sustainable development goals.
Yeah, this is really exciting. I mean, I've been a fan of your work for a long time now, and to see it to actually get to stand underneath Alex here. I remember the first time I came into the museum here, it was one of the first times I've like had a big smile on my face, like coming into VR. It's a very Alex is a very simple character, I think, in the ultimate design, right? But it's still very powerful in that kind of simplicity. It's something about Alex's smile and like warm embrace. Just when I jumped in here and seeing Alex up there like that, I just like, wow, it's just so incredible to see it in person. It kind of, Alex just jumps off, off the page, kind of from obviously from how you've done it before, like to see Alex in 3D, all around the space is just truly incredible.
That's really the way ELYX was born, because first on the design, because I'm a digital artist, I'm a designer for many years, and I designed ELYX really by removing everything that was not essential to understand a message. So as a media is really the minimum essential visual object that we need to create a connection and a human connection. And the smile you're referring to is very, very important. And at the beginning, I called him the smile ambassador, because the smile is also one of the common points all the human beings have. We all have 17 muscles on our face to be able to smile. Nevertheless, your gender, your nationality, your culture, everybody can smile. And when you smile, you do a non-verbal communication. You send something to the people, and the symbol of ELYX is this big smile and these open arms. And the open arms, it really means, okay, we are brother and sister. We share something. We are the team on the same spaceship Earth, and it's really important. And so it was really designed to be the little imaginary friend of any world citizen. That was the departure point. And
Definitely, and
so
I
we can.
definitely get that aspect. And just to take a step back for everyone who's viewing here, just so you know where we are. So obviously we're in the Alex, museum that you've created here in Spatial. But we're, believe it or not, we're not actually standing next to each other. We're definitely maintaining proper social distancing because I'm in New Jersey in the United States, and you're in France, right? So we're
Yeah, in Paris.
hundreds, thousands of miles away from each other, but yet at the same time we can give each other a high five, even kind of give each other a nice warm hug like Alex would love, right? But because we're here in VR and Spatial, we can share this space with each other. It feels like we're in the same space with one another. Like you said, when before we started, my webcam turned on, and that was the first time you had seen my real live, flesh and bone face. But we've come to know
Absolutely.
each other just through VR. So it's been
No, exactly.
pretty incredible to actually get to visit the museum with you and with there's been a lot of people coming through here the last few weeks. So it's been really incredible to feel like I'm going out to experience this art and Alex's mission like in reality.
Absolutely, and we have to add also that for people who know VR, they have this sensation, but for people who enter into VR, is that for the brain, we are actually living a true experience. I mean, for the brain, there is no difference between this VR hug we just gave and the real hug, maybe on the touch sensation. But what I mean is the memory of this moment will be the memory of a real moment and not the memory of a remote vision with a webcam and so on. So it's closer to reality, and actually we are on a territory. We are on a space, and this spatial vision, and I like that your company is named Spatial, because the space vision of memory and the space vision of experience is very, very important.
Hmm.
That's the base of our perception of reality.
Definitely. And we get to use, our full body. I think it's an experience. It's a memorable experience because it's an experiential experience. You're using your full body when you're in virtual
Yeah,
reality, right?
absolutely.
Like right now, these are
Uh,
my real hands. The headsets that we're using are able to track our full body movements and our full hands. So I don't have to use a mouse and a keyboard or look in a screen, right, to move around. I can actually, give you the high five like I did, and that's my real hand that's being tracked. So
Absolutely.
you get like you said, you get the sensation like you're actually physically interacting. So it's really incredible.
And now we are four, five in this virtual place, but we could be more than 30 people. So we could also imagine a situation where 30 people coming from 30 different countries can share the same experience of a hybrid space, because it's not just virtual. We're actually there. I'm using my body. I can't use my phone in the same time, though. That's very also the attention, the quality of attention is very important. And we don't have the same rules of physics, because maybe we could fly, we could be in impossible places, and just the fact to have this too far location, New York City and Paris in France, and at the end we are in the same place. The question is, what is the time zone now? Here we have
I don't know.
a brand
We
new.
have GMT. We need some VRT or something like that, right? Some virtual.
Exactly. Actually, I worked on this subject a long time ago, but it will come back on the table. Yeah, that's for sure.
Definitely,
And
definitely.
th- that's why we are talking about hybrid reality, because there is the reality, the body is also an interface with reality. But when we have the headset, it's another reality. It's not totally virtual. There is a part of virtual, and also what we are sharing is a real experience. So that's very important, and I'm very happy, and thank you for your invitation, and in the same time I'm inviting you so it's a double invitation, and actually
Exactly.
we don't know exactly where we are.
We're somewhere in the metaverse or somewhere in the
Exactly.
extended reality. So on that note, let's jump in. Let's actually, can you give
Uh,
me a tour of the museum? Let's go
yeah,
on in.
with pleasure, with pleasure. Let's enter in the ELYX Museum. You see some of our partners and friends, and thank you to Ideagen also to do this visit. Where are you? Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
over
you're here.
here.
Actually,
I'm teleporting around. That's part of the physics of the metaverse. I can just jump here and jump there.
yeah, exactly. So we have Jason there. So we are in the entrance of the ELYX Museum. Why this museum? First of all, because it's possible now, and it wasn't 1 year ago, even 2 months ago. So because first, it's possible. Now we can do that. We can have this approach of content and culture, and this is really a cultural visit about a subject that is totally connected with the form of this museum, because ELYX is a virtual character, and a character that was born to be a narrative and an imaginary character living in a real world. So to create this museum was a kind of very evidence, a kind of evidence, and you can see in this very first image a little, in French, I would say clin d'œil, a little reference to Marcel Duchamp. And Marcel Duchamp did exactly what I do with ELYX, so that's the reference. And you saw he did that with La Joconde, the Mona Lisa in the Louvre, and it just added some mustache to the Mona Lisa. And what I do is with Duchamp, I just add some words and it becomes du champagne, meaning champagne. And we have, this is a ready-made. And the ready-made of Marcel Duchamp is already a kind of augmented reality. And what I did with ELYX at the very beginning is really to create a kind of low-tech augmented reality with the drawing, because the drawing is one of the common points all the people of the world can share, because all the people were kids once, and all the people used to draw at the moment. And every time I do a conference or a presentation, I ask this question: who in this room is drawing? And if I am in I don't know, a tech conference, you will have some hands, but very few. If you ask the same question in a classroom, everybody raise the hand. So the drawing is really one of the common points. I talked about the smile, that is another common point, and the childhood, that is a moment in life where everything can be magical because everything is new. And ELYX was born with this very little recipe and with a design that could allow to, with a minimum of shapes, have a maximum of expression and how do you say, character, and to be a non-verbal expression. So there is this drawing and this big planet and a kind of sculpture with the ELYX 3D. And we have six moments in the exhibition. I can see that there is an image that doesn't display. Okay, that's okay. So first, the origin of ELYX. And we are going back in the 20th century, because I'm an old digital artist. Exactly, back in time. And you can see in '93 I was drawing already in the UNESCO and this kind of institution. I was drawing live drawings. I mean, according to the people talking, I was drawing directly and projecting the drawing. Je t'entends pas. And also I eventually I also worked for a magazine as a cartoonist for some years during my art studies in Paris. And this character was named XL. And XL is, the reverse. Yeah, it's the opposite of ELYX, and it was already on the subject to have something very universal. But XL was a little bit more a teenager. ELYX is more like the common universal kid inside each of us. And after that, I started a career in the digital area and the real-time 3D and metaverse and so on, with this technology that was called Virtools, that is an ancestor of Unity. You developed Spatial in Unity, but there was this French technology that was absolutely great named Virtools, and they were a friend of mine, and I already designed this character that was a very simple character to design interaction samples, to know how can we create video games and so on. And after that, I had a huge more than 10 years of my life with this project, Electronic Shadow. So Electronic Shadow in 2000 was already the idea to have this hybrid world between the physical and the digital. And these were all our topics. We did a lot of installation. You can see this little sample. We did it in a real-time 3D mapping. Actually, we also had a patent on projection mapping. In
Wow.
2003, we received a lot of prize like the Japan Media Art Festival and Ars Electronica, Laval Virtual, and so on. And we were really, the main topic was this hybrid reality, but it was between the physical architectural world and the digital and virtual world. And so we spent more than 10 years on this project, and ELYX was born just after that. You know, if we refer to an other artistic moment that was the Impressionist, you know, the Impressionism was allowed by the invention of the tube of paint. Actually, it was an American painter who invented the tube of paint, and the tube of paint allowed the artists to go out of their literally the studio, you know, the art studio. And in my very technological art studio, what allowed me to go out was the smartphone. And in 2011, with my smartphone, a very small notebook, and a pen, with the same idea of electronic shadow and hybrid reality, I started to do these drawings that was really this low-tech augmented reality, and you can see this ELYX on the tree. That was the very first, the beginning of ELYX. It was not even called ELYX, and I started this journey without knowing exactly where I was going at the moment. But also in 2011 was the beginning of the social network. And what I did is create an account on all social network to ELYX. Because he was the hero, not me. We just see my hand, you see. But ELYX was really the character, the hybrid character, and that was the beginning of this period and this area with this funny and poetic situation, as you can see.
Yeah, this is incredible. It's amazing that you kind of started not started, but you've taken Alex to be. I love how you called it. You know, it's kind of like a form of augmented reality, right? That's what I love about the art and how you've presented Alex in that way. It enhances the world around you, and you become yourself a hand model, which maybe you didn't plan on at the beginning.
Absolutely, yeah. One of the reason I could do this work is just because I have long arms, as you can see in VR. Because yeah, you have to put the notebook and take the picture right now. And so first you do the drawing, now clack, the picture, and 1 minute after it's on the social networks. And so yeah,
That's amazing.
the process is very close to something, you know, we had in France what we call situationism. It's because we insert the chance, uh, the serendipity into the process. I mean, I don't know in advance what will happen, but I know the rules that make it happen. And then I'm totally available for the situation, for the chance, for seeing seeing the world with a different filter, you know. And then the situation pop up. Like for instance, this one with the plane. I just see a plane in the sky. I have 1 minute to do the drawing, put the right position, and clack, take the picture. And for instance, this drawing is really the representation of that. The idea comes from the situation, and then there is the drawing, and 1 minute after it's on the social network. So that was really funny, and thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So how did Alex start as kind of this simple idea and then become a digital ambassador for the UN? Like, tell me about that journey and how Alex is acting as that ambassador.
So to that we arrived to the second moment, and because we told exactly the way we met, you in New York and in Paris, thanks to Instagram. At one moment, ELYX was I was spotted by the Instagram team in 2015, and so they published this image on Instagram, and actually it happens that this image became the most liked picture of Instagram in
Wow.
2015. So that was, yeah, that was absolutely amazing. And from one day to the other, it became totally crazy. And
Yeah.
I already we can jump to another section. So I will talk to you about the UN moment, because a lot of things happen in the same time. On my office, on my desk, I already prepared a kind of presentation to talk with the United Nations, because I thought I had something that could help to create a kind of nonverbal communication. And the law of attraction. I was thinking so loud that one day my phone rang, and it was the United Nations in Brussels. And it's exactly the idea that I had in mind. I went to Brussels, and they asked me this. They told me, "Oh yeah, we love ELYX because he's very universal. He's smiling. Everybody can understand him, and we would like to create communication with him, and let's see what happens." And so we started in 2014. We spent 1 year to do a lot of communication. We had a lot of good answers on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. And in 2015, it was the 70th anniversary of the United Nations, and I proposed to do a world tour in 70 days. A little bit like Jules Verne, every day to
Hmm.
be in another place, but without plane, without any emission, and without any visa. What I did is sending the drawings all over the world. And there is a website called elix70days.org. And every day we had a publication in a different place. And the pictures were taken by people of the UN in different agencies all over the world. And after that, you can see Ban Ki-moon, who is the former Secretary General of the United Nations. After this
Hmm.
tour, ELYX was nominated the first digital ambassador of the UN. So, of
Wow.
course, for the art project, and what I was trying to do with ELYX, it was really amazing. But also, it's part of this moment that we have, and we have this very difficult moment with the fake news, and all that, everything that happened in the last years, a kind of very turbulent teenage moment of the technology.
Yeah.
um, and ELYX is exactly the opposite. I mean, it's the same. We have a lot of common because it's a narrative project inside reality, but for good. I mean, we try to figure out what is common between all the people, and not telling fake news about reality. So it's not creating another reality, but it's the same technology, the same moment, the same cultural moment. So
Yeah.
that's how it began at the very beginning. I did also, yeah, this poster was the just after the the terrorist attacks in Paris, and I
Hmm.
was asked by the city of Paris to do this poster for the new year, and so he's sending this love message in the same time without any word. So he always keeps this ethics, but is crossing also. The last 10 years were very, very um, very chaotic. We had a
Hmm.
lot of moments, and one of the very important moments was the declaration and the launching of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals in 2015.
Yeah. Let's go
So
take a
that,
look at that over here, right?
yeah, at the end we have this moment. Actually, yeah, the technology also changed, because at one moment I stopped using my notebook, and I started drawing ELYX directly into the pictures. The stories of ELYX is a little bit like the Pinocchio, this tale of
Hmm.
this wooden little kid who wants to be a real kid, and the vision is a little bit the same. I mean, ELYX is a drawn is a imaginary character, but that doesn't represent a human being. For instance, if I draw Spider-Man, what I'm drawing is a human. And the day we do a movie about Spider-Man, we cast an actor. We don't cast a drawing. But
Hmm.
ELYX is a drawing, and his identity is to be a drawing, but he's a drawing living in reality. The day we will have a movie about ELYX, I hope in the next 10 years, it will stay a drawing into the reality. And in fact, we evolve with also technology, and the logical would be that ELYX would be a XR hybrid character moved by an artificial intelligence to be able to be with us in this place and to talk with us and to be a friend in reality and to talk any language and to represent what we have in common and not what is
Hmm.
different between us. That's really the idea. So we
Yeah.
did also, yeah. There are a lot of stuff, and we can go quickly, but this is
So I we can
this is
get into it. I think we're getting close to time potentially, so I want to make sure
yes,
we
yes.
get in
Let's go.
all the points. So what were some of the talk to me about some of the sustainability initiatives that from the UN and that specifically like Alex has been involved in promoting.
Absolutely. So in 2005, the Sustainable Development Goals were launched, and I was asked to draw an ELYX version that could be used by any countries, and that is this creation of the 17 ELYX version of the SDG. And in the same time, that was also in France the COP21, and at the COP21, I was the invited artist to do the the calendar of the events. You can see there with Michael Bloomberg, your former mayor, as well,
Sure.
and and also Paul Watson and so at this moment, ELYX become much more diplomatic and political project, but political, of course, not for a particular party, but really for the UN project and to create promotion and also application of these sustainable development goals. And the SDG, the particularity of the SDG is really to be an holistic project. So it's very
Hmm.
close to an artistic or technological project because it's not, everybody is involved, all the countries, all the levels of the society. It can be the state, it can be a city, it can be a company, it can be the citizen. And we have 17 thematics. And it's very important to understand that all the thematics are connected. I mean, if you want to tackle the climate change, you have to change the condition of the gender equality. For instance, it's one of the example. Or, for
Hmm.
instance, also to fight the loss of biodiversity, you have to change the economic rules and put more innovation, and so on and so on and so on. And it's so fascinating that once we enter into this field, 2 years after, actually 3 years ago, we launched an ELYX Foundation in in France, but that really works helping raise the awareness on sustainable development goals and all the subtopics of the SDG, helping the companies, but also the audience, the citizen to create a kind of SDG global culture.
Hmm.
And that's where also the experience that we have and also the potential of extended reality is very, very important to change the model of how our economy and how our society is working right now, because we have
Hmm.
to we have to really low our emission of carbon. We have to change the way we are producing value, and we are creating connection between all the industrial and economical agents. So we can see in this area some of the collaboration, and there were a lot of, for instance, the international days. You can see there the International Mother Language Day. I did also a version of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that is here exhibited in Brussels. We
Hmm.
exhibited it also in the United Nations in New York. We create this program named 10 to Go that is in French, English, and Spanish on a website. And 10 to Go is a program to explain the content of the international meetings. For instance, when you have the COP, when you have all the big world meeting, we do this accessible infographic the planche, these these boards, to explain more simply the very complex topics. That's how we created this year this girl walking that you can see there, that is called Lexi, because ELYX is not a boy. ELYX is really a non-gendered character, but for the generation equality that is taking place this year in Mexico and in Paris, we needed to create a female equivalent of ELYX, and that is Lexi that is working there. You can
Wow,
see
excellent.
on this part the future and where is ELYX now, what I call ELYXR, with the notebook from the beginning, but with a real augmented reality ELYX that is dancing into the notebook. And that's really the vision for the future, to say that, okay, now we are really merging these two levels of reality, with the physical reality and the extended reality. We talk about that for 20 years, but now technologically we are ready. And also there was a very important moment for all humanity that was called the COVID-19, that stopped everything, but also that made realizing to all the planet that we need the digital connection. I mean, the
Hmm.
reason why we don't have of course there is a crisis, but it could be much worse if we didn't have the digital way to continue creating the connection, keeping the economic at a certain level, and it created the condition to accept another step in in the way we use technology and the digital level. So we are really at the crossing board, because we just have 10 years left to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, and we just had a very huge stop with the COVID-19. And during this huge stop, you guys at Spatial, but also all the field of virtual reality totally popped up at a very dramatic level because we had time and we had the needs, really
Hmm.
these needs. And this is really where we are crossing also with ELYX, to say that we have 10 years to change the world, to avoid the critical aspects of the climate change and so on. But we won't do it without using this possibility to create another way to use technology and create new creation of value with VR, with NFT, with augmented reality, with all that is available now, but with a vision, and a positive vision of what will be 2030. And at the end, this is exactly what this museum is about, and what ELYX is made of for 10 years, but also for the next 10 years. And actually, we can move outside the museum and see
Yeah, kind
ELYX
of
between.
to the gift shop area. That's why exit through the gift shop.
Exactly. And actually, the gift shop is also a secret room. Let's go in the secret room because we can, in
There's a
Spatial, we
I
can
didn't
go.
even know there was a secret room. How about that?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I'm
that's
over here.
the secret for today. But we can go through the wall there. Now, come in.
Ah,
Welcome
this
in
is
the
awesome.
secret room. This is the making of with the the virtual dog there. And there's the article of Instagram at the moment in 2015, I think. So this is the secret room. Uh, that yeah, you didn't even know, but yeah, I love this idea of creating levels of you know of knowledge and to be able to create appointments and experience in this kind of space. That's why also I created a bar outside. We can go there
Yeah, that's
because
great.
it's important to have you know first I can give you the drink, the cocktail. Yeah, you can you can
Oh, thank
take
you.
it. I can take one too, and so we can.
That's the benefit of the metaverse. We can just have unlimited free drinks.
Absolutely, without any headache. Let's try to. Yeah, I'm there.
Right.
Sorry.
And
Exactly.
cheers to you, Yancine.
Cheers.
Cheers to Alex. Cheers to the UN sustainability initiatives that you're promoting. And you're changing the world. We're glad to be partners with you in helping to change the world through the metaverse, through everything that you're doing and that we're doing together. This is great. So cheers. Let's bump glasses to that. There we go. Clink.
Yeah.
All right. Drink up. So just last point. So how can people? So obviously this is in the metaverse, right? This is anyone can come and visit the ELYX Museum, and not just in virtual reality, but right in their web browsers now or on their mobile devices. So when I know at the museum what kind of had a soft opening a couple of weeks ago. When it will be opening again, and how can people come here and check it out for themselves?
We will do a formal opening in June, and we can jump. The link will be thanks to your the last version and the possibility to visit with the web. The the link will be available on the ELYX Museum page on elyx.net. And so just by clicking the link, anyone can enter the museum with the VR headset or with the web browser or with the smartphone and tablet. So it will be open for everyone all over the world. And as ELYX is non-verbal and universal, anyone will understand also the images, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and just a beginning because I'm sure there will be a lot of projects of this kind in the next months and years to promote and help achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. There is another surprise, Jake, because I put it the Jedi there.
This one I did find, and I was loving this. I absolutely love that you did this with Alex. I'm obviously a big Star Wars nerd, so this made me like even happier that you did this.
Me too. And this is the slogan of ELYX, the motto of ELYX, which is "We are one." I'm really inspired, you know, by Marshall McLuhan, the Canadian philosopher, and he said, "On spaceship Earth, there is no passenger; there is just a crew." And this is
Hmm.
really the idea. We are all the crew of the same spaceship. The concept of nation is an old concept that we needed at a certain moment, but now in this globalized world and even at Spatial, I mean, your founders is as Indian origins. The head of the CEO of Microsoft is an Indian, and so we are really tackling much more bigger issues than just the nation. And
Hmm.
there is a positive version to have about that. And ELYX is all about that. So that's why the motto of We Are One. And maybe to explain that, we should
Yeah,
show
let's
how we
yeah
can,
let's show
voila.
the benefits. Some of the benefits that you can have in mixed reality is not just the physical, but also kind of the audible too. So we're turning on speech captions now in live translations, so we can both understand each other. So now for you, you're seeing the captions above my head, but for you, they're translated into French. And when you speak,
Voilà.
your French will be translated into my English. So we can join here for now across the world. And I've never taken a day of French classes in my life. I've been to France. That's as close as I get. I can say baguette and this or that, but that's that's as close as I get. So now I'll see your text translated too. So we can talk
Oui,
and have a
c'est
conversation.
peut-être la différence entre nous parce que je comprends quand tu parles en anglais, mais en revanche, voilà, en parlant français, tu as la traduction au-dessus de ma tête et j'ai une émotion, je dois partager avec vous une émotion particulière lors du lancement de la version 3 de Spatial, où on était une quarantaine de personnes autour du feu qui venaient du monde entier et Anand, le fondateur de Spatial, a parlé en hindi avec une des personnes qui était là et qui parlait en coréen. Et donc, il y avait cette traduction en temps réel. Pour moi, tout était en français, entre de l'hindi et du coréen, d'une quarantaine de personnes qui partageaient une même expérience à un même moment, qui restera dans la mémoire. Moi, c'est un moment qui restera dans ma mémoire et qui sera vraiment ce moment d'une utopie. D'une utopie de quelque chose dont les hommes ont rêvé depuis très longtemps et qui devient accessible d'une façon tellement simple que ça en est, enfin, c'est extraordinaire, c'est totalement magique. Et pour les institutions internationales dont on parlait, comme les Nations Unies, comme tous ces groupes justement internationaux, c'est un rêve qui devient réalité et de façon très accessible.
Yeah, it is really a dream that comes true. It is kind of, we do get to that utopia, and that event, you know, I was at as well was truly remarkable because, like you said, we had people from all over the world speaking 8 different languages: Korean, Hindi, English, French, and we were all conversing with each other and understanding each other. I just understood you right now. I've never been able to stand in front of someone speaking fluid French like that and feel like I can have a conversation with them. I mean, it's you know, it's our platform that we're talking about and using here, and I'm still jaw dropped by it, frankly. So I really hope that other people get to utilize these kinds of technologies and really get to, hopefully, like you said, we get to build bridges between people, because I think one of the reasons why we have walls between a lot of people in a lot of countries is because we simply don't understand each other. So these kind
That's
of technologies allows us to understand each other and build those bridges and get on the same page. So it's extremely exciting time to be alive and to be involved in these really world-changing initiatives.
Absolument, absolument, et particulièrement avec les impératifs qui nous attendent d'ici 2030. C'est vraiment c'est plus qu'un exemple, c'est de le faire dans cette réalité hybride qui intègre aussi bien les conditions réelles et les limites planétaires qu'on voit tous les jours et les possibilités de continuer à développer le progrès humain en basculant dans un univers qui permet de ne pas avoir d'externalités négatives, d'arrêter d'émettre du carbone dans l'atmosphère, de faire tourner les serveurs qui nous permettent d'avoir cette expérience avec des énergies renouvelables et de créer de la valeur, de créer des échanges, de créer de la richesse, de partager de la richesse sans produire de déchets. Enfin, c'est un modèle général qui peut-être n'a pas été anticipé parce que les objectifs de développement durable nous donnent un objectif, nous donnent un cadre de départ, mais là on est vraiment dans le comment. On a 10 ans pour inventer le comment on passe d'une société au bord du gouffre à une société d'abondance, d'imaginaire, de richesse, de création, d'espoir aussi et d'une histoire collective heureuse.
Yeah, 100%, Yancine. I 100% agree with you, and I look forward to sharing that journey with you on Starship Earth as a crew member of yours. And it's extremely exciting to be a part of. So thank you for spending the time with me today. It's been really great getting to see the ALYX Museum and really understand, you know, the origins of and how ALYX and you are promoting those goals, and really to showcase to the world these kind of technologies that exist today. This isn't a future look at something where it'll happen in 10 years. This is happening today, and it's been happening really the
Absolument.
last few months and years already. So I think we should definitely encourage everyone watching to partake in these technologies and hopefully, you know, come visit the ALYX Museum, of course, and just really be a part of this exciting journey. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup, Jake. Merci à tous et à bientôt dans le musée ELYX ou dans d'autres lieux virtuels.